I cannot believe what is happening right now in the Nuggets and Timberwolves series. There may have been some people before the series that picked the Wolves, a select few. I can see that being reasonable. But anyone that had the Wolves up 3-1, there's no one that had that. Not even just 3-1. 3-1 with, first off, Ant with one knee, and now 0 knees. And Dante DiVincenzo out. Looks like an Achilles. I have to admit it. I've really been sleeping on Rudy Gobert. I mean, I was one of those guys where I saw his defensive impact, but I just thought, is it 4-time defensive player of the year worthy? My God. Now, I also do think it's a combination of Jokic having his worst series I think maybe we've ever seen. And then, of course, Gobert making it really difficult on him and essentially locking him up. Jaden McDaniels absolutely putting Jamal Murray in hell. It seems like Jaden McDaniels can't get screened. Every time Jokic comes to set a screen, he is slipping by that. So beautiful how he navigates screens. With this whole Jokic versus Shea debate that's been going on for the last 2 years, I'm gonna be honest, I've always been on the Jokic side. But man, after this, if they really go out sad like this, if they go out in 5 with no Ant, with no Dante, got a lot of thinking to do about tops of the league right now. This may be it. This may be the end of the Nuggets as we know it. There was a point in the second half where Jokic was out there and the Timberwolves went small. And Jokic literally didn't try to score at all. All he was doing was bringing up the ball and doing a handoff 4 times in one possession. He wasn't even trying to score on Julius Randle. I know Jokic had an injury late in the season, and when he came back, he didn't look too great. His shot's been off ever since that. But this Jokic is different. What am I watching right now? Ayu Dosunmu, 43 points. I can't even say that without laughing. I always knew he was a pretty decent player. He has some interesting skill set when it comes to he could play some defense. He has some offense, but he was on the Bulls, right? And then the Bulls just gave him away. Didn't even get a first round pick, I'm pretty sure. And then he comes out on the Timberwolves. Wasn't that off the bench? Yeah. And he scored 43 points. And he was going at whoever was guarding him. He was so efficient tonight. He was 13 of 17, 5 of 5 from 3, 12 of 12 from the free throw stripe. Some of y'all's favorite player will never have this stat line in a playoff game. And Ayo Dosunmu had that. What are the Bulls doing, bro? What are they doing, man? Initially, when the game first started and teams were going back and forth, already right then and there, I'm I don't know if the Nuggets win this because, they're supposed to be the desperate team. Timberwolves up 2-1. Usually the team that just lost 2 in a row, and then the first loss is at home. Usually they have some desperation. They're the more desperate team, and usually they come out the game with a punch. I was expecting before the game started, I could see the Nuggets coming out here getting up 15 in the first quarter because of the desperation aspect. Nope. It was nip and tuck the whole time. What was their biggest lead? Denver's biggest lead was 7. Of course, Jokic has been horrible on defense in this series. Well, he's usually this bad, but it's just spotlighted now because, it's national television. They have history and of Jaden McDaniels' comments where he was saying that none of them play defense. So it's highlighted. And I've always hated this about Jokic's defense. I'm a Jokic guy. I'll be honest. The Nuggets aren't my team, so I'm not I don't fawn over him, but I just see him. I saw him as the best player in the league. I'll be honest. But what I've always hated about his defense is when he's in the paint and he's actually in position to put his body in front of someone driving, put his hands up, use verticality, you're 6'11". What he opts to do instead is go for swipes. And actually, a lot of the time, it seems like he avoids the contact. What are you doing? You're the center. You're the last stand of the defense. Put your chest in front of him and put your hands up. I'm not even asking Jokic to jump and contest the shot. At least go straight up and put your hands up. It's harder to make a shot when someone's putting their hands up like that. Then you can just see the bucket clearly with no hand there. But as bad as Jokic's defense is, his offense has always been so great where it's his defense is bad, but the offense is so good, it kind of negates his bad defense. But what Gobert is doing this year, sending a message, I think he's kind of pissed that he wasn't a finalist for DPOY. I don't think he was. And in a few of these series between each other, Jokic has really gone at Gobert and got the best of him. And I think he's finally saying, you know what? I can defend this guy. Watch this. And he's doing just that. The first quarter, Jokic, I thought it was going to be a Jokic 50 ball game. I'm not going to lie. Jokic came out, got some points early, was being aggressive, Every time he got the ball, he was looking to score first. Even if he didn't shoot, he was looking to score first. If he couldn't, he was passing it. And then that kind of just faded away. And it just seemed like him and Murray this series, by the middle end of the third quarter, they are gassed. It's like they have nothing left. I can see that from Jokic a little bit because he got injured and he had some time off. Murray, he wasn't injured like that. He played a bunch of games this year, had his best regular season of his career, and he is looking gassed. And it's because of Jaden McDaniels putting that pressure on him. Murray will try like 3 screens in one possession and none of them will work. Jaden is there. And even if he does, even if he gets screened, he's quick with it getting back in front of him. That Jokic Murray 2 game, it just doesn't work as good as it used to. And I know Nuggets are missing MPJ bad right now. When they made the trade for Cam Johnson, I did like it, but I was also like, in these playoff series, if it's tough and you need tough buckets, at least MPJ can get it on his own somewhat. And MPJ really doesn't have any of that. And he doesn't have that mentality either. He's really wants to be a catch and shoot 3 kind of guy. Having MPJ as that third cog and him being able to get his own buckets really at times helped the Nuggets, because sometimes that 2-man game didn't work, but then you have MPJ on the wing, you pass to him, late shot clock, and he'll chuck. Hey, he does not care to chuck something up. And also his rebounding. Gordon doesn't look like he has it. His first like 2 jump shots in this series or in this game, he had like no lift. I think Gordon, he might be out next game. I don't even think, did he come back in the 4th? I know he went back into the locker room and he came out. I don't even know if he came back in. He doesn't look like he has it. His calf has got him in a tizzy. I can't say enough about the Timberwolves bench in this game. They had 76 points. The bench had 76 points. That's got to be up there, man, with like tops of all time. Oh my gosh. 76 points by your bench. Of course, a lot of that came from Ayu, but 76? Think about this. The Timberwolves backcourt literally got injured this game. They weren't there and they still lost. After Ant got injured, were the Nuggets up? Either they were up by a little bit or it was like tied or something. After that point, Minnesota got a 13 or 15 point lead after they were both injured. That is crazy. I'm just shocked. Never would I thought this would happen. I could definitely see the Nuggets losing this series, but all that's transpired, it's flabbergasting. And what's gonna suck is if the Timberwolves make it out and they get the Spurs next series, that series is going to be kind of not fun to watch. You're going to have no Ant, assuming that he's out for a while. No Dante versus Wemby. That's going to be crazy. And then on the other side, you got OKC probably versus Lakers, and maybe no Jokic. Man, the second round in the West might be kind of but that conference finals, OKC versus Wemby, oh my God, that would be fun. I'm getting way too ahead of myself. I just needed to speak this out loud. I couldn't believe what happened. Even as the Timberwolves in the 4th got a 13-point lead, I'm like, Nuggets are still going to win this. There's no way the Nuggets lose this game. No Ant. And they did. Jaden McDaniels, he's way more than the 3-and-D player. I knew that, but like, it's just confirmation. He's nice. He is nice. I can't wait to see what the rest of this series holds. And even if the Nuggets come back from 3-1, which is possible, like, don't get it twisted. It's still possible the Nuggets win this series. And if they do, people are not going to forget this. Like, they're going to get no love coming back 3-1. Like, they shouldn't even be down 3-1. So I can't wait to see how long this series goes, who's wins, and what happens. I mean, is Jokic going to be able to solve the Rudy Gobert problem he has? I don't know. Is Murray going to be able to solve the Jaden McDaniels problem? I don't know. Of course, the blame goes on the stars, but also they're getting nothing else from their role players. Nothing. So it's going to be interesting. Timberwolves, insane, resilient. They don't give a shit. I can't wait to see what happens next.